Excellent. All right. So thanks everybody for joining us and our special summer edition of our campus conversations. We've been meeting like this regularly on Mondays at 6 o'clock for about the last, I would say, 6 or 7 weeks. It's been a nice opportunity for everybody to kind of get connected. And we wanted to host this sort of special edition. We've invited all of our students who are enrolled in summer classes, which if you have a 12-week class, you would have probably started today or last week. Already. If you're in an 8-week class, you'll be starting here in just a couple of weeks. So again, thanks for joining us. So I do want to introduce, normally it's just me and some students and a few other employees, but we specifically invited the Advising Center to join us tonight. The director, Cassie Rickenberg, is with us, and one of our academic advisors, Shannon Floyd, who works primarily with nursing and healthcare students, is with us. And so we're going to obviously field questions and have you all talk and everything. And we've got some information to share. So hopefully over the next 20, 25 minutes, those of you that are going to watch the recording, you'll get some good information. So pretty much all things summer, but certainly we can talk about anything as it relates to the college and the semester and classes and all of that kind of stuff. So again, we are recording. This will get shared on social media. And we appreciate you all being here tonight. So, and thanks to Cassie and Shannon as well. So, Eric, I know you're a new name that I recognize on the screen. Sam and Israel have been with us before. But do you have any specific questions? Feel free to unmute yourself if you just want to, ask some questions or just, talk a little bit about what classes you're taking.
I'm doing an ag practicum, but no, I don't have any questions right now at this time.
Okay, cool. But you are taking some summer classes with us?
Yeah, the ag practicum with Michael, well, it was Michael Leonard, but now it's Michael Depew.
Yeah. All right, cool. Excellent. So I guess I'll kind of open it up. Israel, do you have anything to share? Any words of wisdom or advice or questions as we get into the semester?
The only thing is that this was very different for this half of the semester here for the college and doing everything on Zoom and everything. I mean, it's something new for me to do the classes on Zoom with the teachers and that. And the summer, it's pretty much going to be the same way too, right? We're going to be doing Zoom as well with the instructors, or because like this summer I have psychology. And I have chemistry with a lab. And that leads me to the question is, how do we go about doing our lab hands-on in that?
Sure. So I know that our summer offerings, we've been promoting it as online exclusive, but my guess is, and I'll let some of our faculty and advisors that are on give a little bit more information. My guess is once the semester starts, your instructor is going to kind of tell you how they're going to work things out. It may, even though we're calling it all online, there's probably going to be some Zoom and almost hybrid kind of communication between students for a number of reasons. But I would say the main one is because we're sort of pushing everybody to do the online classes, and some students aren't entirely comfortable, which we understand. And that's why we're trying to bring resources like this together to help connect you as students who may run into some challenges or maybe a little apprehensive, so you know who to talk to. So I guess, Colin, do you have more to maybe share on that, especially on the chemistry side, please?
So yeah, this is coming out of my division, which is the STEM division. The plan right now is it's going to be online instruction with Zoom. The labs are going to be virtual labs, so they will have links to different things where you can actually perform the labs in a virtual environment. So if you put in too much chemical into one mixture, the lab won't turn out right. I haven't seen it yet, but that is currently the plan. I'm thinking for my division in particular, if we can get on campus sooner, we will get on campus sooner. But right now, there is no expectation for the summer to have anybody on campus currently. Does that help, Israel?
Oh, yeah, that helps. That also, the other question I have on that is for our, like for the writing in that, for someone to check my writing in that.
There will be writing labs available. There will be tutoring available. All of the services that the Success Center currently has done in the past will continue. I don't know when that information is going to come out.
I actually, I've got some updates. Actually, Sherry sent me, Sherry is our Success Center coordinator for all of you students. So anything that has to do with tutoring or anything that you need by way of assistance on an academic side, that's all going to come out of the Success Center, and that's a huge part of what I wanted to share tonight too. So I'll talk about that kind of at the end when I'm kind of doing some announcements. That way we can sort of keep the conversation rolling. Welcome to Katie and Kimberly and Tracy. Thanks for joining us. I think you all are kind of new to us as well as far as tonight's program goes. If you've got questions, feel free to put those down in the chat feature, or you can unmute yourself and just speak up. We're just treating this like a conversation, so don't feel like you just have to sit there and listen. If you've got some things on your mind, we certainly like to hear. We are recording this as well, and we'll be sharing this on social media once we get everything edited down. So again, welcome and thanks for joining us. We're mainly focusing on what's happening with the summer semester. You are all summer students, which is why you got invited to tonight's special event. And so we want to hear from you if you've got questions. I've got some faculty on, and I have two representatives from our advising center who are going to talk as well and give some information too. So I guess Tracy, Katie, Kim, do you have anything that you kind of wanted to learn tonight that we can answer for you?
Yes. Hi, Katie here.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks.
It's just easier to speak out this question. I've been hearing rumors for people in the medical majors, nursing, x-ray, that kind of thing, that most classroom classes with as long as COVID's going down is going to be cut. Is that true?
So at this point, I don't think we plan on cutting any classes. I know we're making adjustments to the class size, especially when we're looking at the fall semester, where we do have classes where it's imperative for students to be on campus for the best learning experience possible. We may have 10 students come on Monday and the other 10 Zoom, and then on like Wednesday, you just like flip flop. So there's nothing set in stone right now, but know that our faculty and our academic leadership is trying to figure out every possible way that we can offer the best academic experience for you, not only in the summer, but obviously in the fall. Shannon is one of our academic advisors that works specifically with nursing and all of our healthcare programs. So you probably have heard some things or have had to dispel some rumors as well. So anything you'd like to share, Shannon?
I have, and as of today, there is no plan that I've heard of to cancel any classes. I know for a lot of the medical programs, medical assisting, obviously all of the nursing programs, there are the clinical hours or the components to the medical classes. And I know that Dr. Keister has been working with the nursing and the medical assisting faculty to make sure that those clinical hours are met. So they, like lab science classes, they're getting creative. Instead of going into a hospital, they're doing things in the simulation lab in the Ohio Board of Nursing, as well as the accreditation body for medical assisting is allowing that to suffice for clinical hours. So Katie, to answer your question directly, there has been no inkling that classes are going to be canceled. Modified, certainly, particularly over the summer when everything is online, and we can't necessarily bring you to campus or put you in a clinical setting, but nothing. I've heard nothing. But you are not the only student who has been hearing that rumor. No. And we have been super good about communicating with students when something has changed. or dynamic of the classroom has changed. So I'm not saying that things won't be canceled, but as of right now, there's been no indication that anything's going to be canceled. And I think, especially in spring, we sort of, I mean, Colin can certainly speak to this. Instructors figured out how to put all of this online and do it virtually and come up with clinical hours and things of that nature. So I think summer may be a little less burdensome in trying to figure out a solution. I think a solution's already been found, and now they're just going to implement it into the summer.
I appreciate your input.
Perfect.
Sweet. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you. Tracy, did you have something that you wanted to ask?
Well, I did, but I forget what it was. So
gosh,
if it comes to me, I'll chime in.
Okay, yeah, please do. Kim, anything on your mind? Any questions that you have right now?
I do. I actually had a question for books for the summer semester.
Sure.
Is the bookstore going to be open, or are we going to have to do it strictly through online?
Yep. So we actually have been planning for this over the last couple of months. And what I would recommend that you can do is you can call our bookstore, certainly. But if you visit bookstore.northweststate.edu, you can order your books and supplies for the summer semester, and the college is shipping all of that for free for the summer semester. So that's one option that you have. My guess is maybe have they talked about curbside pickup?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you order, oh, go ahead, Jen.
They are allowing, the bookstore is allowing students to order online and then select in-store pickup. You'll call the bookstore and they can be reached directly at 419-267-1308. And they will have pickup available Monday through Wednesday between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. So you'll order your books, you'll click, in-store pickup, and then you'll schedule a time to pick it up Monday and Wednesdays from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then the staff will bring it out to you out of A10.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. I joined because I learned stuff too. We would have heard this probably throughout the rest of the week. So excellent. Good questions. Y'all are great. Anything else?
I have one more.
Yeah.
So I have financial aid through the VA, the Veterans Association, and I can't really talk to them directly. They're not taking anything from our end. Is there anything that you guys know coming out through this, if the VA is possibly going to be paused and I'm going to have to pay out of pocket, for example?
Okay, I can speak to this. I'm also a veteran, so thank you for your service. Awesome job. Talk to Connie Klingshire. She's our registrar, but she's also our VA rep on campus. And Israel is also a veteran, so he's dealt with Connie as well. She will have the most up-to-date and best information you can get in regards to what's going on between the VA and our college. Do you know? Have you talked to Connie yet?
I have, yes.
Okay, she's really your best bet to get things done. The other people that you can reach out to, what county do you live in?
I live in Defiance County.
Are you registered with the VA services in Defiance?
No, I'm not. I just moved up here from Georgia.
All right, I'll do some searching real quick and try to put a link to each county has a VA rep. So I go through the Henry County rep. Israel, you probably go through what?
I go through actually the Florida one, surprisingly.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna get you a local rep that can help you better. So I'm gonna sign out real quick and try to find a link.
I appreciate it.
Yep,
Awesome.
no problem.
Thanks, Colin. And I put Connie's name and email address in the chat feature while Colin was talking. So if you need to reach out to her with any of those questions, she can certainly help you out.
I appreciate it.
Sweet.
I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
So for the summer semester, with the campus being shut down, if this is our first semester at Nscc, do we need to have an ID for any reason at all?
Not that I can think of. That's a great question, because this is our first start of a semester, so I didn't even think to ask that. What's the answer, Shannon? I bet you know.
I would say no.
I don't think
With
so.
a huge asterisk. I mean, typically we have student IDs. Now the student ID is incredibly important because it unlocks doors to classrooms for you.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to be on campus.
Right.
You know, you can put money on your card and use it in the bookstore. I'm going to say no, you don't need it for the summer.
Okay.
However, when you come back to campus in the fall, you will need it. So it's something that you need to keep on your radar.
Okay.
Something that you
That's
will
what I
eventually
figured.
need.
That's what I figured, but I thought I better ask.
Yeah, I mean, I am 99% certain I haven't forgotten anything that you would need an ID card for. So
Yeah, I didn't see what I would need it for, but
yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah, and I'm some of these that we don't really know, especially that one, we'll get an answer to, and I'll bring it up the next time we meet. So awesome.
okay.
Sweet. Well, let me, thanks for all your feedback. That's great. I'll give you guys a second or two. Colin, did you have something? I'm sorry.
The link is in the chat. So, she got it. All right, cool.
Excellent. I do want to go over just some kind of announcement things. Thanks for the question on the bookstore. That was actually on my list to bring up to everyone anyways. Let me get I'm going to try something that I have not done yet before on this, and that's to share my screen. So obviously we drive students, to our website for lots of information. And if you just simply go to northweststate.edu, it's right on our homepage, these COVID-19 updates. But if you click through that, there's some maybe kind of frequently asked questions that you might be able to get some answers from. There's some general campus information as far as our hours are concerned. Shannon mentioned the A10 door for book pickup. That's on the east side of campus. So if you're even remotely familiar with campus, if you know where like the end where the library is at, that's kind of our oldest portion when you come in. That's the A10 doors. I've got another bit of information about why those doors are important too. Talks about our summer operating hours, information on students regarding classes, some additional information and links. So I don't need to read through all of that, but I just wanted to let you know that if you're kind of thinking about something as it relates to campus or hours or how do I get this, typically that's going to be your best spot. And then this is probably not a new word for you anymore because you've all registered for classes, but Sakai is the portal that we use to manage all of our online classes. And just the general page, if you go to the Sakai side, it's going to give the distance learning email address along with a phone number. So if you have any questions, logging in, or you have any problems, distance learning at northweststate.edu, or that phone number is good. And again, you see all of this just by clicking the Sakai tab on the homepage. And then also, if you are new to online classes and even new to us, faculty have until 8 a.m. on the first day of classes to make your class live. So we're looking at June 1st. And so I know a lot of times as students, you maybe want to get prepared and get a little bit ahead. And so you'll start looking for that class maybe at the end of this week or the weekend before. And then you might panic because you don't see it. A lot of faculty try to put that stuff up early, but know that there's a lot of last minute changes and things that may happen too. So 8 a.m. on the 1st is technically when all of your classes should be able to be viewed. So I just wanted to share that with you, a couple of those online resources. You can get a lot of answers out there too. So other questions?
I have two. I'm sorry, I'm asking a lot.
No, hey, I'm glad you're doing it. This is great.
So my first one is I've never done online classes ever. What exactly can I expect with the learning wise? Is there a class like Zoom session, for example, or is it just a weekly update to the Sakai?
Sure. And I would say, traditionally speaking, and I'll let our faculty talk too, but traditionally speaking, if you took an online class, the way we normally categorize that, you wouldn't really have you would have almost no interaction like face-to-face or speaking with your faculty member. You'd primarily do all your communication and everything through Sakai. Now, the way that we're doing online this summer, we kind of talked about this, I think maybe before you, right when you were jumping in here, Katie, is there may be some faculty versions where they are going to do some Zoom stuff. I'll let Colin kind of update you on that since he's a faculty member.
Okay.
Yeah. So what, can I ask you what you're taking?
Right now I'm just taking 2 general studies so that I can jumpstart my nursing degree.
Gotcha. So it will be very instructor dependent. Some instructors will choose to hold, a Zoom session in the morning and a Zoom session in the evening based on class availability. Unfortunately, there is no rhyme or reason, but I will tell you one thing coming from the faculty perspective, like I didn't know what Zoom was 8 weeks ago. I had no clue what any of this was. And now I did 5 advising sessions today. I've met with like Israel off to the side to work on math. I think the faculty as a whole will be much more available to you. It may not be a formal lecture, but if you have questions, reach out to your faculty, be like, hey, do you mind if I set up a Zoom session, or can you set up a Zoom session? And you'll get that pseudo face-to-face time out of that. And I think everybody that taught this spring has been launched into the Zoom world. So we're very familiar with it. And I think at any point, if you just need that personal interaction, because really like me, I'm an engineer. I hate typing. Like I'd much rather have a conversation with you than actually try to type emails back and forth. So reach out to your faculty member and say, hey, can we talk? If you're not getting virtual lectures or anything else to supplement what you need.
Okay. My second question actually refers to the tutoring part. Is the tutoring also just moving straight to Zoom, or is it also the email back and forth? Because I don't do well with written instructions, I guess you could say. I
Sure.
prefer.
Yep, you're going to get a little bit of both. And I heard you say you're taking some general studies classes. What classes in particular are those?
English comp and psychology.
Awesome. So watch your student email, because I know that the Success Center is going to be sending all of this stuff out. But just so you know, we have Zoom sessions. So it'll be live, as face-to-face as we can get for math. And I know that they're doing Zoom sessions for our writing lab as well. Those links are going to get shared out to you probably maybe the end of this week, but certainly, by the time the semester starts.
Next week. That's when it'll all go out. The tutoring, the Success Center will be active next week, because this is the first week for 12-week classes.
Yep.
So then it becomes active after this week.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, we had our math lab will actually begin on the 26th. The business, e-tutoring, accounting, computer tutoring, that all starts on June 8th. So we give students a week to get into the classes. They get their assignments, and then they can start using the tutoring services. And then the writing lab is going to get launched on June 15th. But again, you'll get all of this information in emails, and it'll talk about learner services. It'll say stuff about tutoring or academic support. So any of those kind of keywords that you see, know that it's definitely going to be referring to that.
I actually have one more that I just thought of.
Yeah, go for it.
So because money's tight with COVID and all that, I've been laid off. My housemate hasn't. So do we have to have the money by the first day? By the first day of class?
So I know we have a payment plan for summer, and you can actually reach out to our business office. And again, this probably all piggybacks on your VA benefits too. Is that correct?
Yeah, but as far as I'm concerned, it's paused because of COVID. They weren't able to renew my certificate.
Okay. So yeah, as far as your summer billing statement is going, I'm sure Shannon, you've probably talked students through that and know the dates off the top of your head, if you wouldn't mind.
You're on mute.
Got to unmute it. The summer due date for classes is June 2nd, but Katie, you'll want to contact the business office. And I can put in, oh, there it is right there. Colin just gave you the email in the group chat. You'll want to contact the business office and they will allow you to set up a payment plan. They'll allow you to divide your tuition into 2 payments. So that takes some of the sting away. But yeah, it's due on the 2nd. Certainly discuss with them, let them know about your VA benefits and see if there's some mechanism that they have in place that can help you either extend it or break your payments up further. But my understanding is it's 2 payments and the first one would be due by June 2nd.
I appreciate it.
Katie, were you enrolled with us in the spring or is this your first semester with us?
I was supposed to start my STNA class in the spring,
Okay.
and then that got canceled by 4 County, and now this is my first,
Okay.
I guess, actual semester.
Okay, so the reason that I bring this up is I don't have any answers for you right now, but I do know that in the spring, for our students that were enrolled in the spring semester, the college received some emergency funding dollars from the federal government. And there's an application process that's pretty simple through our financial aid office. And we were able to basically pass along federal dollars to our students for any reason of being affected by COVID. Now, I have not heard from financial aid that we're going to be doing a second, or if or when we're going to be doing a second run of these for our summer students. But just keep in mind that might be something that comes out as well. But you can also email our financial aid office and just say, hey, I was on the campus, I was on the live Zoom thing with Mike last night, and he mentioned something about possibly being eligible for emergency funds. What is that? And then they'll direct you to that information. But that's another thing that might be available for students too. But I don't know that what we're doing for the summer semester students yet.
Did that emergency funding come as, I think it looked like a scholarship in the
No.
financial aid book?
No,
okay.
it would have been money that was given directly to students who had an impact, and it ranged from like $250, like $1,500. You might have scholarship dollars on your account for sure, but I don't think that it would have come by way of that.
All right, I appreciate it.
Sure. Well, we are right at 6:30. I think I've made all the announcements that I wanted to. Any last minute thoughts or bits of advice maybe from Cassie or from Shannon, just like what should students be kind of thinking about and doing over the next week and a half before the 8-week session starts?
Shannon, do you want to go? Or I would say just make sure you use your resources. So make sure you're talking to the Success Center, make sure you're communicating now with the bookstore, make sure you're doing all of those kind of things that'll kind of pile up until the last minute. So just really use your resources to the best you can. And if all else fails, you can always go to your advisor, whether that be your faculty or your academic advisor in the advising center. So just reach out and talk to somebody, no matter what the question is. It's never too small, and somebody can help you out.
Yep. And, we've all been working remote for the last couple of months. I think it was 9 weeks last week for me. And so we, we're in a pretty good groove as far as being able to be a resource for all of our learners. Our office hours are 8 to 4:30 Monday through Thursday, but we are, checking emails and doing Zoom things, in the evening like this too from time to time. So next Monday is Memorial Day. We will not have a campus conversation, but I am planning on having another one of these each Monday at 6 o'clock throughout the summer semester. So even if you don't have a specific question, encourage you to jump on. You might see some familiar faces. You might learn something that you didn't know, and we can go from there. So again, a huge thanks. Wow, I'm really pleased with the turnout. I know you're probably seeing 5 students and wondering why we're so excited, but it's nice to be able to answer your questions and just, let you know that we're here for you and we want you to be successful. So let us know if you have any questions. Big thanks to Cassie, Shannon, Colin, and Vanderpool for joining us as our employees. Thanks to Sam for some behind the scenes stuff. And thanks to all you students for participating. We appreciate it. Take care.
Later.
Stay safe.
You as well. Hey, Katie.